Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about the remake slash reboot slash re-sequel of The Naked Gun. Alright, so The Naked Gun 2025 is a reboot slash sequel slash re-sequel slash legacy sequel slash legacy sequel to the original The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad and that other two movies that have aired in the history of the world. There are some of the biggest comedies out there, or at least some of the biggest on-the-nose comedies, like also Airplane was, which also starred Leslie Nielsen, of course. And well, if you don't know what these movies are about and you haven't seen this movie yet, let's just say that humor is very on the nose. Like, you could literally write humor down, put it on the nose, and that's the kind of humor that you have with this one. You know what? For the sake of it, let's fucking do it. The humor is very the humor is on the nose. I gave you enough time to screenshot that. Alright, so with this movie we officially have a remake slash sequel to the movie because they go further on the story that has been established. But apart from them and everyone being the son or daughter of everyone that was there in the last three or the original three movies, there isn't really anything going on with like overlinking arcs or something like that. So it's more of a reboot than it's a sequel, but it's mostly a sequel because why would you do a reboot if you can do a sequel? And why would you diminish the legacy of the original trilogy by redoing everything if you can just make it a sequel by calling everyone the Junior? And I have to say that worked pretty well for this one, as I have to say that yes, the humor still feels the same, the movie is about the same length as all these other things, and it's great. And by serving it as some kind of sequel, honoring the original trilogy, it makes the movie all the better, as it does not try to be better as the original. It tries to honor and pay homage to those original three movies, and that's the best thing about this one. It's just that you can feel the love for the original franchise. You can see the love that Paramount has put into this movie and the care that everyone involved has put into this movie to create it, to make it feel as authentic as possible, but also as original as possible and as closely resembling to that original movie that they possibly could. And I have to say, if I think about Liam Neeson, there will not be any moment in time where I will compare Liam Neeson to something as Leslie Nielsen, apart from the name that sounds a little bit like each other. But I would not see Liam Neeson do any kind of humor that Leslie Nielsen did when he lived in his lifetime, when he did those kind of movies. So seeing him in this role was both very creepy to see, but also very renewing. Like, in this movie, it once again is exceptionally clear that this man is way too old for action sequences, and you can see that through every bit of and every piece of action in this movie. It feels choppy, it feels very, 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 very framed, and it's just not that good to watch. But you know, that's the main gist of this movie, so in this one I don't care about it looking wonky and it looking choppy. And of course, the humor is a big thing, and that is the thing where this movie shines but also fails for me personally. As the humor in the original trilogy, it's not fair to compare it to Leslie Nielsen's humor, but in that one it felt kind of natural, and all of those jokes felt like they were not even scripted beforehand, apart from the visual jokes, and they were just coming out at the top of Leslie Nielsen's mind, and it felt like that. I don't know for sure if that's exactly the case, but it felt like it. In this movie though, you can see that none of these actors are used to this kind of humor, and not even used to this kind of filmmaking and this kind of on-the-nose things that they can do and possibly do, and like putting a joke every 4 to 5 seconds. You can actively see them trying to do that, which works exceptionally well, but still it feels a bit more scripted in this one. The humor doesn't come off as natural, making sure that not all of the jokes land. We have a lot of jokes that land. For example, can I take a chair, and then actually taking chairs is something that is my kind of humor, and I will always love that. There are some other jokes that just feel a bit forced and don't work that well, and some of them are still funny, but they are funny one time and then they do them a lot more and then it gets a little bit less. And if, yeah, okay, I'm nitpicking the humor over here, but I would just want to say that the humor is exceptionally great in the original trilogy, and I would just like to say that the humor is good in this one. It's very good, it's exceptionally good, and it's astonishing that we can even have a movie like this in 2025, and I will always love the fact that something like that can happen. And with this runtime, I will ask everyone to go to the movie theater to watch this movie. I watched it twice, and I will tell you exactly why in a second. It's just because it is fun, and Liam Neeson did a great job in this one. Pamela Anderson steals the show a little bit more for me though, as I am not really familiar with Pamela Anderson. Of course, I have seen stuff from her, and she is a living legend, but I wasn't really familiar with her, so she could do something more for me, and I accepted the kind of stupid humor more from her than I did from Liam Neeson, because in Liam Neeson I could totally and continuously see the ways he tried to put the humor across, and he definitely had fun with it, and he definitely was too old for it, but Leslie Nielsen was also this kind of same age, I guess. So it both works, but it also, for Liam Neeson, it's a one and done. It's a one and done for him, and he has said it himself, and I'm very happy that he says it, and I'm very happy in the way that he marks this movie as well. Like, he is like, okay, this is a fun movie, but we can't make another one like this because we're just too old for this shit, and you should support a movie like this, and I love that for him. So Liam Neeson will always, even though I have hated on Liam Neeson's movies for quite a while now, because the man can only seem to make shit movies nowadays, because he just takes every movie he can get, and he is turning a little bit into Bruce Willis in that case. But no disrespect to Bruce Willis, because I love him, and I loved even some of these other wonkier movies that he made in the last years that he made movies. Surely hopes he has a good time left with his disease and stuff like that, so I really all the respect to Bruce Willis, but he did not make the best movies the last years, and I feel like Liam Neeson is going to that same direction as well, just taking whatever he can get, mostly action, and it's not good. So I'm happy to see him in this one, but the thing with Liam Neeson that I wanted to say is I am exceptionally happy to see him in something like this, to see him in an actually good, really fun movie, because even though he acts only in shit movies, the man has such a charisma, and the man has such a vibrant vibe throughout all his movies, even if they are shit or not, that you will always like to see Liam Neeson in a movie, and will always be on the lookout for a new Liam Neeson movie. So for him to do this, I feel like even though the humor did feel a little bit more forced, I feel like he is the perfect choice for this film, and he played Leslie Nielsen's late son, Frank Drebin. I will always say Debrin, but it's Drebin Jr. He plays it exceptionally well, and I am in love with the humor of this movie. I, of course, watched it twice. That was because I was very tired the first day I watched it, and I fell asleep, and I noticed I fell asleep because I felt like, okay, this movie went by way too fast. So I watched it again, and the movie still went by way too fast, but the good thing about it is I did in fact miss some things. Like, I missed, I think, around 10 minutes of it, which for this film is a lot. So I am happy that I got to watch it again. I waited with the review for that reason, and now we are here, and now I can tell you that this movie is a blast. You should watch it. The humor, again, is less unique and less as it was in the original trilogy. It was just a bit more forced, and the humor is not always my cup of tea, but I also had that with the original trilogy. So in the end, I will say that this movie definitely is worth, and highly is worth, of a 3.5 stars and a heart, because it's so incredibly funny. And I would ask every single one of you to go support this movie in a movie theater to get more movies like this, because this Runtime from 85 minutes, and this kind of humor needs to be celebrated and needs to be watched on a full screen, on a big screen, in a movie theater. If you have time, please go support this movie. Alright, what did you think of The Naked Gun? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching and I'd like to see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.